Hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Thomas. I'm the Managing Director of Franklin Management. We're a managing agent based in the Midlands, and we've been going around about 7 years. My company was formed originally with a business partner who both became fed up of poor managing agents taking our money, not looking after the building, and then having the cheek to charge excess charges at the end of each year for goodness only knows what. So we took control of our apartment block, and we kind of moved on from there really. Very proud of what we do at Franklin Management. We offer total transparency to the leaseholder. People get reports on the service charges on a monthly basis. They know exactly what's going on with the buildings. We do building diaries, and this is the blueprint I think all managing agents should follow. There should be, at the end of the day, you're spending your money. You put the money into the bank or their bank account at the end of each month or every 6 months. You've got a right to know where every single penny of that money is at any time. So I want to talk to you today about if you're a leaseholder and you're not happy with your managing agent, what are your options? Well, good news is you've got a few options. First thing you need to do, check your lease. Have a look at the lease. What's on there? Is there already a company in place that sometimes there are leasehold management companies put in place by the builder or the developer? And there may be an option where you can either speak to a director there who should be a fellow leaseholder, or see if you can put yourself as a director on that particular company. The important thing is check the lease, and then if there's a company in place, check the articles of association for that company. They're easily found on the internet. If you look on Companies House, you can find the articles. Can anyone become a director? Can it just be leaseholders to become a director? What can you do? If you can, then put yourself as a director. Follow that process. Sometimes with these companies, unfortunately, the articles allow anybody to be directors, and what you'll find is that some of the more unscrupulous managing agents will put themselves as a director, flood the board, so that company then becomes ineffective. They are running your building and there's no recourse for you. So if you've got to that stage or there is no company in place, what do you do? Well, there is a right to manage. Right to manage has been around since 2002. Right to manage was an act passed to help you, the leaseholder, wrestle control from poor managing agents, managing agents that aren't doing a job. So the first thing you need to do is see what support you have for a right to manage. If you've got the time and you can do it, then knock on some doors. Find out who your fellow leaseholders are. If you can't find, if there's tenants in there, then you may need to look on land registry to get addresses, or speak to the tenants who's the agents. You can make contact. If you try hard enough, you'll be able to find out who owns the flats and where they are. Chances are that if you're having problems with the managing agents, then everyone else is going to be in the same boat, and they're probably going to want to make a change. The good thing is, once you've done a right to manage, as long as you keep it up and everyone and the leaseholders stay as shareholders and it becomes to stay strong, then you guys are always in control of who's looking after your building. So you'll issue a contract to a managing agent. That contract can only ever be just under a year, unless we do a Section 20. And if you did a Section 20, there's no point, but that's another subject for another day. So back to right to manage. So find out who these people are. See if you can gain 51% of your block. Your block is specified as the apartment block. Now it can be that you might be in a complex with lots of different blocks, but it can just be your block if you want, if you're that desperate. But ideally you want to get the whole complex. If you can gain 51% support, then away you go. The process can be followed. A leaseholder becomes a director, or many leaseholders can become directors, depending on who's keen. The people that vote become shareholders, and then that company is then formed, and you can then issue or you can issue the contract to who you want for a managing agent. Obviously, you can then get rid of the managing agent that's not doing a good job. It is a long process. It is something you need to look into. There are obviously costs involved with this. If you look at the government website, gov.uk/leasehold-property, and then look at the right to manage section. It will give you all the details you need and the sort of processes involved with this. I mean, obviously there is companies that will do right to manage for you. I will say there's a lot of unscrupulous companies that do it for you. They'll do it, they'll then put themselves on the board, and then you're stuck with them again. So you don't want that. Franklin Management, my company, we do that. We don't put ourselves on the board, but we do free right to manage. What we ask for is the first year's contract, and then after that, it's a case of if you want to use us. If you don't, you don't. But I'm very passionate about what we do, and any right to manage that we've done, and we've done quite a few now, the leaseholders have stuck with us, and that was based purely on our performance, and we know that if we underperform, then we can be gone, and that's exactly the way it should be. Check out our website, www.franklinmanagement.co.uk. There is a contact us page. If you want any free advice on this process, I'm happy to give free advice. I don't want anything from it. I just want people to actually be able to live in their apartments or own an apartment and pay fair charges for a fair service. I think that about covers it for this week, guys. Thank you.